Hello and welcome to the August 7th meeting of the Rotary Club of Jamestown. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, the singing of the national anthem, and our four-way test. I pledge allegiance. Please repeat the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial for all concerned? Please welcome Paulette Klein, our invocation chairman, for the invocation for today. Chairperson.
Thanks, Ruth. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I've had the pleasure this morning just to sit with John Bowman and Jim Smith, whom I'm getting to know a bit, which is a great honor. And also, we spent a couple minutes this morning talking about gratitude, family, and just things in life. And I said, I'm so blessed that most of my days are very grateful and I don't have much to complain about. And that's pretty darn good. So our prayer today is, thank you, Lord, for your word. Thank you for the men and women who have faithfully spoken your truth to us over the years. Help us believe your word today. Help us speak truth first in our own heart, then to others as I walk in faithfulness. I believe you are who you say you are. I trust you at your word. Amen.
Thank you so much, Paulette. And now let's welcome our Vice President, Kirk Young, to announce visiting Rotarians and guests.
Good
afternoon, everyone. We have one guest today and prospective member. We have Jennifer Harper here with us today. She's with her husband, George Harper. So welcome.
Thank you very much, Kurt. So, announcements. As always, now we say this every week. As always, we thank the Rotary Years Reporter today and the Communications Committee for all you do. But I want to say it. I think we need to say it more, and we need to think it more, and we need grateful, because these people are so wonderful. The Communications Committee not only does the Rotary, they do our website, they do our Facebook page. They keep us abreast of what's going on, and they do wonderful press releases that get the information about what Rotary is doing out into the public. And we are so fortunate to have such a wonderful Communications Committee. Thank you. And sign up. Okay, so the Rotary Club Trades of Hope fundraiser for the YWCA Supportive Transitional Housing Program is over. It ended Saturday night. This partnership created so much hope for women locally and around the world. The total sold for the fundraiser was $3,182.31. Congratulations. Trades of Hope will send a check for 10% of that directly to the YWCA. Amber Sipior, who worked at Westfield Friday and Saturday, and has done so much for this fundraiser, is donating her entire commission. She worked for free for this, and so it'll be about $725, making the total we give to the YW, that is given to the YW, over $1,000. Let's see, Diana, August 10th is the next literacy committee meeting. Anything else? Zoom meeting. Contact Diana if you have a question. Camp Anyasa, which we help to make possible for people who are otherwise abled to have a camp for recreation. Its opening night is Sunday, August 13th at 7 p.m. They have a opening campfire. And we always have singers there and help them with sing-along. Please, everybody who can, go and experience this wonderful program that your Rotary, through the Wendy Sharp Fund at the Community Foundation, makes possible for these people. They have such a wonderful time, and it's great to see it. So I really encourage you to participate if you can at all. Coming up is the Babe Ruth Festivals. The kids arrive August 17th, and they will be playing games August 19th to the 26th. So let's support this wonderful program. Mr. Dietrich over here has launched and keeps going. August 18th at 8 a.m. is our Board of Directors meeting at CRCF or via Zoom. We encourage anyone who can to please participate in person, since we don't have to tell you, it's so much more enriching, and we're able to have so much better discussions if people are face to face. So we understand if you're on Zoom, we appreciate you making that effort, but please, if you can, make a commitment to be in person. Jennifer Harper has applied for membership and has been approved by the membership committee and the board. Any Rotarian who might have a reason that she would not be an exemplary Rotarian should contact Secretary Lisa Goodell in writing by Thursday, August 10th. So our August 21st meeting is in limbo right now. We are hoping to have a social event that week, inviting all our members to help the literacy committee stuffing 1,300 bags with books and materials. So we will find out in the next couple of days whether the books will arrive in time, and we will get information out to you. So please watch for that. Are there any additional announcements by committee chairs? If not, Dan, you want to come up and do the 50-50?
Okay. So today's 50-50 drawing is for $34. Thanks to everybody who bought tickets, and I will ask our guest, Jennifer, to please draw. Okay, the number is 100310. All right. There you are. You got it.
Thank you so much, Dan. Oh,
Good afternoon. It's good to see you. It's been a while. My voice getting out there.
anyone who has happy bucks, we'll work on that for next week.
All right, my happy, but I'm going to put a 5 in. I missed last week. I went to see my daughter, who is literally 5 weeks away from delivery. So we're pretty excited. So if I disappear the second week of September with no word, you know where I've gone.
Very good.
Well, first of all, I have $5 from Sally, but I don't know what it's for. Diana took me as her guest after she won the tickets to the VIP tent at the Lucy Fest. It was wonderful. We had a nice time. The food was good. And thank you, Diana.
I'll throw in a few. I don't seem to have that same problem, Doug. I was in, because I live near a lake, I went to a lake vacation last week, Norris Lake, Tennessee. You haven't heard of it? You might look it up. It's about 80 miles long. And it is amazing. I was there with my 2 brothers, one of my sister-in-laws, a number of nieces and nephews, a great family time.
I've just got a couple of happy bucks here. First, for what an amazing weekend in Choctaw County between the Comedy Festival, the Gary Rodeo, first Friday out in Westfield. I heard Ellington, I think it was, had a huge town picnic. There was so much to do and see, and people came out. I was part of, and seeing multiple events throughout the weekend, and nothing was hurting for attendees. So it was awesome. My other happy bucks are for last week. I had the opportunity to go out to the Leadership Summit at St. Bonaventure, which was in collaboration with Chautauqua Leadership Network, Leadership Cattaraugus, and Leadership Allegheny. And our own Kirk Young was the keynote address, gave a fantastic presentation about, managing your workforce and building a quality team. So I appreciated that, Kirk. Good stuff.
I have a couple of happy bucks. First one is our first full month of July. We had a really good July. August is really good. I want to thank the Babe Ruth Classic, because we've got the umpires staying with us, and we appreciate it. And the second one is sort of unhappy. My wife's stuck up in Canada with some immigration issues. Unfortunately, it may take another month to solve. So me and the staff are running solo.
I hope you have about 3 hours to sit there, thinking about all that's going on. I want to take that article and other things, and I want now to take 3 hours to tell you the truth about it. for the Babe Ruth World Series and with the Skunks and with everything else that goes on, that's been going on in my life. But I think about Babe Ruth. I could never put a parade together, the magnificent parades they put together since 1980, but I knew people that could. I could never find host housing. I couldn't go out and get 75 families to take all of those young players in year after year after year. But I knew a couple people that could and would go out and do it. I could never make the infield as smooth as it was down to the stadium and stone free, but I knew a young man that could, and he would do it. I never knew that everybody had to mow all of that grass and mow it beautifully and make it look so well. I couldn't do it, but I knew somebody that could. I had to bring those young men from all over the States and sometimes offshore to this community. I couldn't do it, but I knew people that could, and it was always done well. And everything else that along with it, it was always done well. Not because I could do it, but I knew people that could do it. And sometimes that person was busy running around with something on their chest. Oh, it was one of those Rotarian badges. And I knew ones that could do it. So I'm so very, very lucky that in my life, every step I've taken, I was never sure whether the second foot would follow or not. But I know for sure that there was somebody there that would see that it did. And that was why we've had Babe Ruth World Series in this community and why it's been thought of so well since the 1980 when they had the first one. And he came to me during the manager of the series or the president of the league during that second game. And he says, you guys have done a nice job. He says, you're gonna do it again, aren't you? And I says, me? No, but all of those other ones probably. I says, when are you going to have us do it again next time? He says, next year. And the people stepped forward. And again, it was 1980 and 81. So like so many things, I had an opportunity to be a member of the team. And what's no better team than to be walking this earth with you and others. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord.
All right, now I would introduce Joan Blackman, our foundation chair, to talk to us about the birthday table.
All right, so I'm up here under the facade of birthday table, but you know, I'm really up here because of the foundation committee and the foundation work for Rotary. So I just wanted to let you know that if you have opened up your Rotary magazine, that by the way, you pay for every year, and go to the part about our clubs, there's always the foundation trustee chair editorial in there. And he says he wanted to start by thinking big this year. And so he's thinking big about the foundation supported projects. And he says, if your club hasn't engaged in a Rotary Foundation district grant or global grant, and I stopped right there and I thought, we have. Yes, we have. We're doing the books and bibs, and that is a district grant. And then I think we were involved in a global grant with the Canadian clubs for the African some classrooms that were built in Africa, correct? Okay, so we're on task, all right? And then he goes on to say, let's also think big about our polio fundraising. Well, we've been doing the bike riding polio support for a few years. So maybe this October which is really the month to focus on Polio Plus, maybe we can add another element to that. If you have any ideas, let me know, but I'm going to be working on that. And lastly, he says, let's remember that our efforts to make the world a better place should extend beyond our time on Earth as we strive to reach 2.025 billion, that's with a B, by 2025 for Rotary's endowment. Consider how you can leave a legacy by making a gift or a commitment to a Rotary endowment. So those are the things to think about with Rotary Foundation. And when I come back up here, lucky you, and talk a little more about what our committee is doing, I'll tell you what some of the numbers are for our club, and we're doing very well. So let's do the birthdays. So August 5th, Amy Roller celebrated her birthday. And I saw Amy, yeah. I saw Amy at a Wegmans presentation I was doing for the United Way at 8 a.m. on August 5th. So she was working on her birthday, Saturday. Amy is the executive director of the United Way of Southern Chautauqua County. She's doing a bang up job. Put her on your prayer list or whatever thought list you have. She is down to minimal staff and the campaign kicks off this month. So she may need, some good thoughts going her way and a lot of energy. So buy her coffee. She's a graduate of Seattle Pacific University, Bachelor of Arts in English, Yale Divinity School, Masters of Religion, and North Park Theological Seminary, Master of Divinity. She is a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member, which means she is committed to giving $100 a year to the foundation. And once you do that, it puts you in line for the recognition of a Paul Harris Fellow. So keep that in mind. And I have those forms if you'd like to be part of that club. Clubs and clubs. She joined our club in 2018, and thank you, Sharon Hamilton, for sponsoring her. Happy birthday, Amy. All right. Next is David Troxel. David is his birthday was August 6th, so just yesterday. How do you feel? Oh, he made a crossing. He's married to the lovely Marissa, who we all love. And, he comes and goes in a good way. He's a graduate of Valparaiso University, University of California at, I can't read it, Sonoma. Oh, yes, there I see it. Sonoma for his master's. And then the Tokyo Institute of Language Arts for his PhD, Dr. Troxel. He's also a member of the Paul Harris Paul Harris Sustaining Club. And he joined us in 2011. Ron Papalardo brought him to us. And he's a 2020 Paul Harris Fellow. Happy birthday, David. Dewey Jones, who is probably out fixing a sink somewhere. His birthday is in a couple days, August 9th. He joined us here in 2022. Mark Olson brought him to us. I saw Mark somewhere for a while. Dewey is the general manager of TJ's Plumbing, and we're really happy he's in the club. He steps right up to help us out in the it's a DEI. Yeah, DEI committee, right? Happy birthday, Dewey. Dick Johnson. Is Dick Johnson online or yeah, I thought so. I thought I saw his name. Dick's birthday is August 18th, and he joined the club in let's say, I can't say 64. Must say 84. Sorry, I forgot my glasses. You're gonna get a whole different story next month. Anyway, joined in 1984. Joseph Milham brought him to us. He's past president, has 3 Paul Harrises, and graduated from Cal State University, Long Beach, and is a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. And I don't know if you're retired, Dick, wave your hand if you're retired. But anyway, he lists the company that he's with is Software Solutions. And I know he helped me with a bookkeeping software at one point when I was at Fenton. Happy birthday, Dick. Kirk Young. Yay. Dr. Kirk Young's birthday is on August 19th. And he joined the club in 2016. Doesn't seem that long ago. Randy Sweeney brought him to the club. He's a graduate of Snow College, Utah Valley University, Brigham Young University, and Gonzaga University. And he's at Jamestown Community College. Yay, Jamestown Community College. How many of us went there? Come on, raise your hands. Vice president of just about everything, I think, at the college. Happy birthday, Kirk. Next, we have August is a busy month. Rudy and Delora, who joined us very recently in 2022, Ruth brought him to our club. And Rudy works at Jamestown Community College in the global learning area, international students area. And he is a birthday is January 25th, and he's a graduate of St. Bonaventure with a Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education. He's a language minor, graduated May of 2000. Then he has went to Middlebury Language School in the University of Florence, Italy for his master's in Italian language and linguistics, and graduated in 2005. Happy birthday, Rudy. And our former treasurer, Russ Webb, his birthday is also August 25th. And he currently lives up in Cheektowaga, but he just sent his membership in. And he regularly gives money like the $5 and $10 for being online. So Russ is on top of it. He's a branch manager at Community Bank in Williamsville, SUNY Fredonia, and Jamestown Community College graduate. And he is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. He joined in 2014. Vicki McGraw brought him to us. And he is a Paul Harris Fellow. Happy birthday, Russ. My goodness, we're going. Okay. Joanna Dahlbeck, August 27th. She joined us in 2021. Marion Beckering brought her to us. She is retired, and she's been in the tourism business for a long time. Happy birthday, Joanna. And the next one is Marion Beckering, who's off playing around in Maryland or Rhode Island. I can't remember which. It's small. I remember that. Her birthday is August 26th, and she's retired from the Robert Jackson Center, where she was the director of development. And she's a graduate of Dickinson College and Cleveland State University and Marshall College of Law. She joined in 2019. Tori Ergang brought her to us. Happy birthday, Marion. Getting to the end of the month. Dan Overcash is next on August 29th. He is the owner of Bodell Overcash Anderson and Company, chairman CEO. He is a graduate of Muhlenberg College and a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. Do you see a trend here? And he is a past president and has 5 Paul Harris Fellows. So he believes in the foundation. That's obvious. He joined in 1977. Joseph Cusimano was his sponsor. Happy birthday, Dan. And last but not least, Lee Magnuson. Pastor Lee joined us in 2013. And I don't have his sponsor on here. He's semi-retired. And his birthday is August 30th. He went to Capital University in Columbus, Ohio, and Trinity Lutheran Seminary in Columbus, Ohio. And he is a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member and a Paul Harris Fellow in 2020. Happy birthday, Lee. So I'm in the essence of time, we're not going to sing, but you're all sunflowers to me. And so the winner of the Rotary Club birthday table gift, I need David to pick a number between 1 and 10 and Kirk to pick a number between 1 and 10. Hold on. I just told her what my number is, so tell me what your number is. Yeah. 4. 5 takes it. The number was 6. All right. Oops, at yours. I'll be back.
Okay, Joni, before you disappear, hang on a minute. So one of the things that is going around, there's a whatever this is called, clipboard going around with it's got 2 things on it. First of all is a list of all the committees and their descriptions and who's on them. But then the second one is a little bit easier to read, and if you want to change anything about what committees you're on, that would be what you would use. We're going to start it out this week and also work on it next week. I know we have one already, but if Joni start the other one around. Thank you. I also wanted to mention that we do have these wonderful flyers to give to people who might be interested in attending Rotary. And this is, if you talk to someone and they seem, if they're interested, want to learn more, give them a brochure, give them a flyer, and they can contact me and they can come for free to a Rotary meeting to experience what we do. So I've got some of those, and I think I left some at the front table. Very good. My goodness. On to the next page. All right. So let's see. I'm going to unpin. It's not letting me unpin. There it is. Remove. It doesn't say unpin. It says remove pin. Okay, and see if I can get rid of that. There we go. Very good. So today, excuse me for that. I wanted to talk today about reviewing the results of the second survey that we went out in June. And so as I was doing that, as I was reviewing the results, and it's called the survey Areas of Need in the Community. And I read the comments from both the first and the second surveys that we've done this year. And I've thinking about the discussions that John Healy, Marion Beckerink, and Kirk Johnson and I had on all those surveys. I keep coming back to the word engagement. In the responses to the survey questions, there was a sense of real urgency, a sense of impatience that the Rotarians, that we become actively engaged in meaningful projects in the community. So that took me back to the meaning, the purpose of Rotary. So the purposes of our club are first to pursue the object of Rotary, which doesn't mean a whole lot. So I went down, and the first object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Now, the word acquaintance, we would maybe say fellowship now, or maybe say meet and greet and make friends. But anyhow, the second purpose for the club is to carry out successful service projects based on the 5 avenues of service. And the third is to contribute to the advancement of Rotary by strengthening membership. So as I looked at this, I thought, well, you know, that one excellent way to develop acquaintance is through weekly meetings. Good. But a second way is by doing the service work together. And this was really what we were talking about when we put out the second survey. What areas of need could this club get behind? Now, 45 Rotarians answered that second survey. That's about a half of the club membership. Another way to participate in another way to develop acquaintance as a service opportunity is by participating in committee work. Committees are what drive this organization. Today, in a little bit, I'm asking committee chairs to briefly present the work of their committee. And as we go forward in the year, we will be working with them to develop plans for this year. During my year, I'm charging committees to meet regularly to talk about what they can do towards 3 objectives. First, advance the engagement of fellow Rotarians in our work. Second, consciously think about how in our committees, each committee can address at least one of the avenues of service: club, vocational, community, international, and youth. So think about it and formally say, this is how we are addressing avenues of service, or how we might expand our participation in these avenues of service. 3, identify a way that the committee can contribute to the 3 areas of community service that were identified as the top priorities in the second survey. So my goal for this year is to strengthen membership. This is a multifaceted project. Strengthening membership means strengthening the ties that bind Rotarians together, friendship. Strengthening membership means providing each member a meaningful way to provide service through one of the avenues of service. Strengthening membership means looking into the community and, as written in our Constitution, this club's membership should represent a cross-section of the businesses, professions, occupations, and civic organizations in its community, including age, gender, and ethnic diversity. The way we will do this, strengthening membership, is by generating service opportunities that excite members of the club to action and attract new members. Members will be able to participate through our committees in actively finding our avenues of service. So these are my goals for this year. What is the result of the June survey? We gave you a list of 8 proposed areas of need that we gleaned from the first survey, from Vision Committee brainstorming, and from the IDEA Coalition brainstorming on the greatest issues in Chautauqua County for underserved populations. And here are the results of this survey. I need 3 hands. The question that received the most responses of all of them was the one about leadership development. Leadership development community-wide. It's widely recognized that the American community is collapsing. People just aren't getting involved anymore. How can Rotary encourage civic engagement? So Kirk mentioned at our first Rotary survey meeting, if not Rotary, then who will lead the effort to re-engage people to invest in our communities? 36% of the people who responded that survey said this has got to be our #1 priority. 84% listed this as one of their top priorities. The second one question that received the second most support is the student and youth mentoring question. This might include vocational counseling, mentoring students by inviting them to Rotary Club member or committee meetings, and activities to help to understand the importance of civic engagement. 6% of people thought it was their #1 priority, and 82% listed it among their top 5. And question number 3 is workforce development, including working with people on soft skills like interpersonal, written, and oral communication, the importance of regular and timely attendance and workplace decorum. It can also include welcoming workers and professionals new to the community to encourage them to make Jamestown home. And 9% said this should be our #1 priority, and 62% listed this as one of their top priorities. So these were the 3 that had the highest responses. Education, working with Jamestown Public Schools, and how can Rotary increase the outreach to offer opportunities to these students? A significant number of people, 11%, thought this should be a #1 priority. 53% listed it as one of their top 5. So then the next one was the downtown cleanup, where 47% listed it as one of their top priorities. And this was a generalized, whether it be replacing benches or trash. And I was noticing that some of the wonderful artwork that's on the brick walls in the alleyways is beginning to shred. So things like that. But 47% listed that. General service. This was an idea that maybe we could have a Rotary brigade to assist any organization, not every, but to focus on assisting organizations that need volunteers, more volunteers than they can come up with. And so about 8 people thought this was their #1 priority, and 42% listed it as a top 5. Small business development, as you see here, mentoring new and prospective businesses. About 1/3 of the people thought this should be in our top priority. And cultural events in Jamestown to celebrate cultural diversity, 30% thought this should be a top priority. So once again, so I am asking each Rotarian, through your commitment to committees that you lead or are a member of, to make a conscious effort to address how can we advance the engagement of our fellow Rotarians in our work. We have a wonderful group here today, in person and in Zoom, but we need to get everybody involved. We need to get more than half. So how can we do that? Through our committee work. What is or are our avenues of service? Each committee to look at this, how they address the avenues of service. How can we strengthen what we do? And finally, how can this committee, talking to each one of you, contribute to the 3 areas of community service that were identified in the second member survey: leadership development, student youth mentoring, workforce development, and welcoming newcomers. So that's the thoughts that I'm asking you to take with you today, as both as members and as committee chairs. I wanted to give each committee chair a chance that's here today, a chance to talk a little bit about their committee and their plans and how you can be involved. So who would like to go first? Diana, want to go first? Kirk's going to go first.
So I chair the vision committee as of just over a month ago. So I'm brand new to that committee and trying to figure out exactly how we're going to carry that forward. So Marion's been spending a lot of time with me to help me get my hands wrapped around how that's going to work. The official statement on our website regarding the vision committee is that the vision committee determines our priorities and solicits local and international project proposals from members of our club. The Vision Committee recommends grant awards to the Board of Directors and seeks District 7090 and Rotary International funds for projects when possible. So the Vision Committee really is in place to help with the distribution of grants to fund projects that exist locally and internationally to help carry forward the vision of Rotary. We're excited to look how we can incorporate these items that Ruth just talked about into the work that we are going to do. We've had 2 meetings since I took over. I missed the last one. I was speaking at the thing that Dan talked about. So I missed the meeting last week. In our next meeting, we will take the results of this survey and have a conversation as a committee on how we can make sure we incorporate those focus areas into the work that we're doing.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to recognize Russ Dietrich because his message was so powerful. It's so true that it takes all of us supporting each other to make things happen. And that's exactly what happens on the Literacy Committee. So we currently have 12 members and we meet once a month, generally on Zoom, because that seems to be the most convenient. Occasionally we skip our Zoom and have like a work session. Basic education and literacy is one of Rotary's 7 avenues of focus, or 7 areas of focus. We know that basic education and literacy are essential to reduce poverty, improve health, encourage community and economic development, and promote peace. Without literacy, it's hard to accomplish any of those things. The primary purpose of our Literacy Committee is to promote and support literacy development in our local community. Now, we do other things internationally in collaboration with other groups, you know, our international projects. Our current projects and activities include the weekly monitoring and supplying of 3 laundromat bookshelves with books free for the community. And we put about 1,000 books out into the community a year that way. We read with elementary students during the Summer Leap program and during the One District, One Book reading project. So that's about 6 weeks of the year we're involved in that. We promote September as Rotary Literacy Month. The last couple of years, we did that through our library, through the library system. This year, we're going to promote literacy with the initiation of our Books and Bibs project. And then, so I'll mention that. The next focus, big thing we are doing is the implementation of the Read to Me Book and Bib project, which will provide a bilingual book, Goodnight Moon, a bib that has the Rotary emblem on it and says read to me, plus an application for a library card for each newborn at our UPMC Chautauqua. And we collaborate with other club committees as well as local organizations. We collaborate with the Environmental Committee, the DEI Committee. We have collaborated with the Humane Society, Creche, UPMC Chautauqua, Prendergast Library, Literacy Volunteers of Chautauqua County, Jamestown Public Schools, other local Rotary clubs, and our local community libraries. And then I just want to add, we also, through the Vision Committee, have supported the middle school students and their reading through the Battle of the Books. So we look forward to having new members join our efforts to support literacy in our community. And we are always open to new ideas to work collaboratively and keep our members engaged and involved. So thank you for your interest and support.
I've been a Rotarian for 5 months, and I am now co-chairing the Environment Committee with Doug Conroe. Although Doug has made comments that, well, Doug's made comments. So what do we do? Well, in June of 2020, Rotary International established supporting the environment as one of the 7 focus areas. through a unanimous vote of the trustees of the foundation and the Rotary International Board. And so our committee basically is in service to that area of focus. Primarily, we've been doing cleanups of the Southern Tier Expressway twice a year, and cleanups along the Riverwalk and other areas in our town. But we're looking to increase our activity because that area of focus includes so many things, from supporting conservation of resources to supporting ecosystems and communities, supporting sustainable agriculture, supporting so many other things, and educating people on the environment and doing things to get at the root causes of climate disruption. There's so many areas that we can be active in. And as Ruth mentioned, we are going to start meeting. And so if you are on that committee or you wish to be on that committee, I'll be contacting everyone to start setting up meetings so that we can talk about the many things that we can do. There is a project that we are looking at right now in collaboration with the Chautauqua Watershed Conservancy and the Audubon Community Nature Center for some native plant gardens at schools. Like one was put in at Bush Elementary this year. And they need assistance from others to help with these installations and sustaining those gardens so that the kids can actually learn from them the things that are going to help them become better stewards of the environment themselves. And so there are many things we can do. Looking forward to working with many of you this year to start doing them. Thank you.
I will go over here. Is this where they can see me if they're on Zoom? My name is Mike Roberts. I'm one of the co-chairs of your auction committee for 2024. I'm very well versed on auctions. I chaired the auction the first year I was a club member. How many of you have attended or worked on the auction committee? Okay. I want you to forget everything you've ever known about the Rotary auction. How many of you have not attended or worked on the auction committee? Welcome to the auction committee. I appreciate your message on engagement. In all seriousness, right? This is an all-in, whole club, everybody on board activity. It's going to be May 18th. It's going to be at Moonbrook Country Club. It will be a sit-down dinner. What can you do right now to start working on the 2024 auction? One, you can start thinking about people you will invite to the auction. In order to have a successful auction, we need two very important things. Three, if we really want to get all in. First, we have to have auction items. And secondly, we have to have auction bidders. In our past experience, alcohol has helped with the bidding. What kind of auction items are we going to auction off? We are not going to auction off any garage sale items this year. We are going to cut our auction items in half. We will be looking for high quality, high dollar amount auction items. What does that include? Do you know somebody with a condo in Florida? Do you know with somebody who might own a Tamarack at Holiday Valley? Can you start thinking of making 2 or 3 connections with people that you know in packaging an auction item? These are the things we're going to auction off. We are not looking to auction off $20 and $30 items. We're looking to auction off $200, $300, $400, $500 items and higher. Okay. We are working on some other side items that we might include, but for the most part, we are looking to put together an auction that we will auction off 40 to 50 items of high dollar value. We're going to need items. We're going to need people. We will be selling sponsorships. Maybe you know a company that might sponsor a table of 8. We'll have a price for that. They can have 8 people attend. We're concerned about having too many sponsor tables because we want to make sure enough people show up for the event. Okay. May 18th, Moonbrook Country Club. Forget everything you knew about Rotary auctions in the past. Tori Urgang, Mike Roberts, Max I. Miller, Vince Horrigan, I'm missing Tim Edborg. That's your auction co-chairs. let's put together a great auction. If we're going to fund the things we want to fund, this is what it takes to do it. Not $1,000 fundraisers, $10,000 fundraisers. Thank you.
I just want to follow up for a moment with Mike. I was the successful bidder in one of those condos in Florida. It was a wonderful experience. Also a balloon event, balloon flight that Diana helped with. Anyway, those are wonderful experiences and wonderful bid items. And it sounds like that's what he's looking for. Anyway, I am the chair of the club service committee. I didn't even know I had members. But I read on the slip that I do have members, which is great. I could certainly use a couple of buddies to fill in. But talk about engagement. This is how we engage and strengthen our club by volunteering to be a 50-50 collector or a greeter. You will have the opportunity to meet and greet and take money from our club members. It's a great way to get to know all of our members, to know their names, to have a small conversation with them as they either purchase or they enter the restaurant here. It's a wonderful opportunity, again, to get to know each other and to strengthen our relationships, which is so important here, because we could certainly use more people sitting around the tables. And today is a good example of that. So.
All right, I'm going to pick up where I talked about foundation earlier because I'm not going to say much more. But on average, this club donates about $8,000 a year. That's been the president's goal for a number of years. It probably should go up, and we make it. So you give yourselves a hand because we make it. And since the beginning of our donations to the foundation, we have donated $428,496 just from this club. So that is fantastic, with 89 donors over all time. So many of you give every single year, which makes a big difference. That's Rotarians and non-Rotarians donating. So we do this through the Paul Harris Fellow recognition. We do this through bequests, being a benefactor, which I believe you have to start at 10,000 to the foundation, and then major donors or other numbers. So at this point, the Rotary Foundation in general has 478 district grants out there, and we have one of those. They've done 200, this is only 1 year. They've done 207 disaster response programs. They have 1,199 global grants out there, and we're involved in one. And then they have started the program of scale. They're doing one a year. It's a $2 million project. So if, you know, one of you's got a bright idea that can involve I mean, this is big thinking, a big region, a lot of clubs, a big problem to solve. They'll give 2 million towards it. And then of course there's Polio Plus. So that's the overall picture, but we are helping in our own way. All right, now I'm going to take my hat off and pretend I'm speaking for Marion Becker Inc. She is the chair of the DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, which just started 3 years ago. And that's because Rotary.org started it and said we should have one. So we did. It's focusing on diversifying the range of skills and perspectives in our Rotary Club, because honestly, if you only talk to the same 12 people, you only think about the same 12 people. You don't think about other needs in the community. You don't think about what other people, what the community needs outside of your sphere. So we're trying to increase that sphere and put emphasis on professions. That's what we're about, rotating through and meeting people at different professions, learning about what they do. So that is expanded in our world a lot. So we are the club committee is based on Rotary International's emphasis on professions and their recent adoption of inclusion and equity for gender and race. And the more diverse the members we invite, the more diverse our club ideas will be, and the more diverse our activities will be, and everyone can benefit. The goals of the committee, there's about 8 of us, 9 of us on the committee, comes and goes. We're very consistent. We meet every month. So we are introducing the DEI concept to the club, how it aligns with these the club's goals, how we can work it into our regular operations. And we're inviting speakers from our community, like coming up, we have Muslims. Was it Muslims in our community? Sam Quantary's speaking. So we're inviting speakers to help us with that. And then we're working on the changing needs of the community, seeing what that is. So we've had the asylum seekers support people coming and help telling us about that, IDEA coalition and the homeless shelter projects. All those things are affecting our community. They put together because these things are affecting our community. We should be involved. And then we're reaching out to other groups in the community to diversify the membership and our attendance profile. So for instance, we are really working hard on trying to get young professionals to think about joining Rotary. We're working on corporate membership of some sort, business memberships, so that we can get a variety of people in. We're trying to work with the JCC International students in a sense as well. That's kind of nebulous, but we want interaction with them. And we're partnering with the membership committee, for instance, and then other committees as well. So that's what we're doing.
This is going to be very short and sweet, but I'm the new invocation committee chair. I just want to say that in 2001, I joined Rotary in Ohio. A couple of years ago, I joined here because now I'm retired. And several years ago, I developed a mind, body, spirit assessment for health and wellness. And that's one thing that's always drawn me to Rotary, because I think it enriches our mind, it enriches our spirit, and certainly our bodies through the great food that we eat, the activities that we do keeps us busy in the community. And we really hit on all those topics. So I just want to suggest that we continue to enrich our mind, body, and spirit. And my part in the invocation and those that join me are to enrich our spirit, to help us to be grateful. But also, one thing I want to mention, and Ruth noted it in her request to me to consider chairing this committee, is that we are a non-denominational group. Not all of us believe the same things, and that's just okay. And when I do my mind, body, spirit assessment, I always say, ask the question, where do you feel peace? Where do you gain happiness? And sometimes it's a walk in the woods. It could be being near water. There's a lot of different ways that people get that. So anyone that's willing and able to do invocations, keep that in mind. And we're looking for people to do a month at a time, and Becky Robbins offered for September. So anyone that's interested, I'll be passing a list at a meeting soon for you to sign up. Thank you so much.
So obviously, we're not going to go do 25 committees today, but let's do Dan, and then we have a one.
Real brief. I'm Dan, chair of the program committee. We're the folks working in the background to schedule our speakers for each meeting. Following Ruth's comments today, obviously an important part as we look at our work and how we can make sure the speakers we're bringing are of interest to the club and encouraging attendance and participation. So we will certainly be getting together, have a conversation about that. If you ever have suggestions, special requests, please send them my way. And we're always happy to plug those in where we have openings. So thanks.
Whoops, him again. Boy, it was wonderful to sit here today and realize that Jamestown has been one of the bright places on earth, and the Jamestown surrounding area has been one of the bright places on earth because of the work by the Rotarian clubs all those years. We've been super, super, super. And listening today, that is going to continue. Jamestown and the surrounding area will be super, super, super because of the Rotary Club. And I'm so very, very proud to be part of it. And I've got good news for all of you. The battery is going dead in this microphone.
So thank you all for participating and listening. We will do some more committees next week and bring the sign-up sheet back around if you have others you're interested in. So thank you very much. And we are adjourned.